Welcome to your number one show, Explicit. I'm Richard Don. In our previous lesson, we began a series, and that was one of the fundamentals of English language, parts of speech. We took a look at the first part of speech on our list, and that was conjunctions. We looked at what conjunctions are, and then we began explaining the types of conjunctions. We started with the first type of conjunctions, and that is coordinating conjunctions. We explain what coordinating conjunctions are, giving you a series of examples to portray that lesson. In our lesson today, we are going to take the second type of conjunctions and the third type of conjunctions. Now, the second type of conjunctions is what we called subordinating conjunctions. The word subordinating, of course, is a continuous word derived from the root word subordination, and it means support. Now, subordinating conjunctions are those conjunctions we used to show support to a particular idea. Now, subordinating conjunctions are basically conjunctional words that are used when it comes to what complex sentences and compound complex sentences. Those are the two types of sentences that we make use of subordinating conjunctions. Now, subordinating conjunctional words are unless, until, when, because, to mention but a few. These are all words subordinating conjunctions. Now, I said earlier that subordinating conjunctions are used to show support to a particular idea. Now, we are talking of complex sentences and compound complex sentences. Those are the two types of sentences that subordinating conjunctions are always made use of. Now, in complex sentences and compound complex sentences, we always have two ideas or three ideas. Now, in the case of two ideas, one idea is always supporting one. That is why we call it subordinating word conjunctions. Now, let me give you few sentence examples to illustrate what I'm talking about. Example 1. I will buy you a new wristwatch when you pass your examination, in flying colors. The word when is our subordinating conjunction in this sentence. I will buy you a new wristwatch when you pass your examination, in flying colors. In other words, I will not buy you a new wristwatch if you do not pass your examination in flying colors. So the word when, of course, is supporting one idea. There are two ideas in that sentence. I will buy you a new wristwatch. That is the first idea. The second idea is when you pass your examination in flying colors, or examination in flying colors. That is the second idea. So there are two ideas in that sentence. Now, the subordinating conjunction when has come in, but of course, in this case, the subordinating conjunctions when is setting a condition. Is setting a condition for the objects now in that statement. The subject is telling the object in that statement that I will buy you a new wristwatch only when you pass your examination in flying colors. In other words, I will not buy you a new wristwatch if you do not pass your examination in flying colors. That is number one example. The word when is a subordinating conjunction and is setting a condition for what? An object in the statement, telling that object that I will buy you a new wristwatch only when you pass your examination in flying colors. Let's take a look at the second word example, sentence example. I went to school because I had a meeting with my principal. I went to school because I had a meeting with my principal. Why did I go to school? I had a meeting with my principal. The word because is the subordinating conjunction in this sentence, and is supporting one idea, is supporting one. I went to school because I had a meeting with my principal. There are still two ideas in this sentence. I went to school is the first idea. The second idea is I had a meeting with my principal. Now, which idea is supporting which? The second idea is supporting the first idea, is telling us the reason why the first idea, the first action took place. So it says, because I had a meeting, or rather I had a meeting with my what? Principal. So that means he wouldn't have gone to school if not the meeting he had with his principal. So you can see that the second idea is supporting the first idea, which is going to school. Of course, it's a past statement. I went to school because I had a meeting with my principal. This is how subordinating conjunctions function in sentences. Of course, I gave you more than two subordinating conjunctional words. I've only used when and because just to illustrate this lesson. But what I want you to understand is that subordinating conjunctions are used to support ideas, and in some cases they set conditions. They set conditions for a second principal word subject in a sentence that is called object. Just like the first sentence I made, I will buy you a new wristwatch when you pass your examination in flying colors. The second one is supporting one idea. The second idea is supporting the first idea. That is, I went to school because I had a meeting with my what? Principal. So I had a meeting with my principal is supporting the first idea. I went to school. And also there is something I want to say quickly about that subordinating conjunction, because please, I want you to take note of this. There is a comma before that subordinating conjunction, because that is how it works. Whenever you want to use this particular subordinating conjunction, not only just these subordinating conjunctions, most subordinating conjunctions, when you want to make use of them in sentences, the word that is following the preceding word, or the word before the conjunction, there must be a punctuation mark, comma, there. Like in the case of what? Because. I went to school because I had what? A meeting with my what? Principal. There is a comma there before the conjunctional word because came into that sentence. Please take note of this. These are the two examples that we will use today just to illustrate this lesson, the second type of word conjunctions, subordinating word conjunctions. Now we are going swiftly to the third type of conjunctions, and that is correlative word conjunctions. Correlative, the word correlative is derived from the root word correlation. Correlation, and it means alignment, that is agreement. So what we are saying is correlative conjunctions always agree, they always align. And one thing you must know when we talk of correlative conjunctions is that they are always in pairs. Correlative conjunctions are always in pairs. There are two short words that are always linking together, aligning together. No alignment, agreement, they are always working together in pairs. And it's very hard, very difficult for one to leave the other, for one to function without the other. You must take note of this. That is how correlative conjunctions function in sentences. Now, let me give you the correlative words, or some of the correlative words we have. We have either or, neither nor, as well as long as, in as much as. These are all what? Correlative conjunctions. So I'm going to pick few of them and make sentences with them just to buttress this lesson for you to understand more how correlative conjunctions function in sentences, or how they appear in sentences. Now let's take example 1. Either John or James will sweep the house. Either John or James will sweep the house. You can see that the two of them are working together. They are in pairs. So it is very difficult for one to exist without the other one. You can use either and throw away or in sentences structured as the one I just said. Now, either John or James will sweep the house. But then there is something I want to explain too. Correlative conjunctions, or some of the correlative conjunctions like either or, is always for certain choices, is always giving the subject choices, or giving the receiver choices. So like in that sentence, the receiver has been given two choices, that either John will sweep the house, If you don't want John to sweep the house, James will sweep the house. So either John or James will sweep the house. Another thing you must understand when it comes to this particular correlative conjunction, either or, is that it is always saying yes. It is from the positive angle. It's always coming from the positive angle. Yes. Either or is always coming from the positive angle. Yes. So either John or James will sweep the house. So you have option of either choosing James to sweep the house or John to sweep the house. Now let's move to the second correlative conjunction, neither nor, very close to the first one, either or. Just like I said that the first one, either or, is always coming from the positive angle. Yes, this second one, neither nor, is always coming from the negative angle. No. So when you are using the word neither nor, you are automatically saying no to the person you are talking to or to the receiver of your statement. Now, let me make this sentence for you to clearly understand how neither nor functions very closely to either or. Neither Mary nor Martha will do the work. Neither Mary nor Martha will do the work. Also an option, but from the negative angle. So, none of them is going to do the work. That is a no, a capital no. I am telling you that these two individuals, these two girls, none of them is going to do what the work. So I'm emphatically telling you no, neither Mary nor Martha will do what the work. Let me take the third one, the third example, using the word as well as. Because it's very important I explain to you how this correlative conjunction as well as function in sentences. Mr. Juliet, as well as his son, is clearing the bush. Mr. Julius, as well as his son, is clearing the bush. Now, someone will say, why is the auxiliary verb in singular form is? It is slider because that is the rule binding this particular word correlative conjunction. When you are using this particular correlative conjunction as well as, then the verb must always be in singular. That doesn't mean that the two individuals have been conjuncted to be one individual. No, they are still separate entities. They are still two different individuals. But the law or the rule of this particular correlative conjunction as well as states that when two individuals are involved in sentence, using this correlative conjunction as well as the verb must be in singular term, whether it is an auxiliary verb or a main verb or a modal auxiliary verb. The verb must be in singular word form. That is why this sentence reads, Mr. Juliet as well as his son is clearing the bush. Not Mr. Juliet as well as his son are clearing the bush. If you make that statement that way, as in the former, it is wrong. Or rather, sorry, the later, it is wrong. You cannot say Mr. Juliet as well as his son are clearing the bush. If you make that statement that way, that is wrong. Capital wrong. Incorrect. So the right way to make that statement is Mr. Juliet as well as his son is clearing the bush. This is how, as well as a correlative conjunction functions in sentences. Please take note of this. These are the two remaining types of conjunctions that I told you we're going to look at in this lesson. Subordinating conjunctions and correlative conjunctions. In our previous, we looked at what conjunctions are generally, and then the first type, which is coordinating conjunctions. Now we have looked at the second type and the third type, and I've given you examples, I've given you the words. So please take note of this lesson. Don't misplace their values whenever you are using them in sentences. I'll see you again in our next episode. Enjoy yourself and have a good day. Thank you.